Joyce Wheeler with Natural Bliss Podcast. Welcome to Discover the World of Crystals. So the first thing we're going to discuss today is how the ancient peoples have used crystals in the past. You're going to see me glancing over to my computer because that's where my notes are, and I don't want to miss anything. I want to make sure I get everything said. So they've been used for years. We'll start with the Egyptians, who used to bury their dead with quartz crystals and other crystals to make sure that they made it to the other side. And then we had the kings and queens of Egypt, and they would adorn themselves with crystals for enlightenment, for sex appeal, and also to open the third eye. The Romans used crystals as a status symbol for protection and good health. And also the Greeks, it said that they used crushed up hematite and they would cover their bodies in it when they went into war for protection. And of course the Chinese have used jade for years as a symbol of good luck, protection, and financial prosperity. Then you have India. They have the modality of Ayurveda, if you've ever heard of it. It's their healing modality. And in this modality, they also use crystals for emotional and metaphysical imbalances. So yeah, been used for years. So let's go into choosing crystals. You don't choose crystals. Crystals choose you. I have had plenty of experience with this happening to me. So, the first thing you could do, I really like to be able to go in a store, to be able to hold them, and to be able to really look at them. I do buy, I'm sorry, there's a cardinal outside of my window, and it's a really good sign that he's sitting there. I love that. I think the store is the best place to go, because then you could really get a feel for the crystals. Although I do buy them, have bought some offline too, so that's not an issue. Then decide, why do you need the crystal? What do you want it to do? Do you want it to reduce stress? Do you want to use it to help heal a certain part of the body? Decide what you want it to do, because then that's gonna let you know what you're looking for. So if there's an issue with stress, you might want to look at labradorite or ocean jasper. Do you want to ground yourself? Tiger eye is really good for that. Mouse agate is really good for that. So you just have to decide what you want the crystal for. Sometimes crystals just come into your life because they like you and they want to be around you. So that's what you have to do when your crystal choose you. And I'll give you a really good example. We went to New Mexico to go rock pounding, and we walked into this gem store, and I was seeing this little guy flashing at me from across the room. He was just dancing around, and just glorious, brilliant light was coming off of him. And I was like, what the heck is that? And it was him. He was saying, hey, come here, take me home with you. And so I did. In that same store, this amethyst cathedral kept calling my husband. Now, there are numerous amethyst cathedrals in the store, but it was this in particular one that called him. And I saw at the farmer's market, and my husband said, go ahead and take it out with you, use it on your display, and if somebody wants to buy it, sell it to them. Well, my neighbors at the market, who are also into crystals, both of them yelled at the same time, no, you can't do that, that's his crystal. And I went, oh my gosh, you're so right, that's his crystal. So that's on choosing crystals. Let's talk about cleansing crystals. We want to cleanse our crystals because we don't know who's coming in contact with them, and many of the crystals will absorb people's energies. So the first way to go ahead and cleanse it that you could do is by using a smudge stick. This is white sage, and it's just leaves rolled up in a bundle. So what you would do is you would get this going, you would light it, and then you would just take the crystal and hold it at various angles to go through the smoke. Now, there's an issue with this little guy. He's on the endangered plant list, So what we want to do is to use it sparingly, or if you're capable of, grow your own. The other one is Palo Santo. This is Palo Santo. It's used the same way as the sage, to where you light it and you just put the crystal through the smoke to cleanse it. Couple problems with the Palo Santo. As you can see, it's kind of like a wood stick, so it's hard to keep lit. Another issue is it's being harvested unethically. So what people are doing, the normal process to harvest Palo Santo is that the tree would just fall down after age. They would let it decay and then they would take the wood. Well, what's happening now is that people are going ahead and they're cutting down the trees so that they can harvest more. So you want to make sure that where you're getting your Palo Santo from, just to make sure that it is being done in an ethical way. So you want to do that. Okay, the other way is using the cyanide. That's using the cyanide one. Now, cyanide one is self-cleansing. You could see it's flat. So what you could do is you could go ahead and you could take your crystal. Now, I'm not going to put this totally on top of it because I don't want to cleanse it, but you would set it there and just leave it there for like 24 hours, or use your intuition. That's one thing I always say. Use your intuition. You know, it's talking to you. So you could do that. Water. I am not a fan of using water. I don't use water to cleanse my crystals at all, for various reasons. First off, if you're using tap water, it contains heavy metals, it contains chlorine, it contains fluoride, and I just don't think that toxic chemicals mix well with the good energy that we're trying to get from our crystals. So I don't use water. Not only that, but it can discolor some crystals, and not only that, but like the cyanide wand is so soft, you would not want to stick this in water. So it's an option, but I don't do it. So another one, salt. Some people will bury their crystals in pink Himalayan salt. I don't do that either, because some crystals are very soft and it will actually scratch them. So I don't prefer that method. However, use your intuition. Burying them, you could go ahead and you could take them outside and bury them in the earth and leave them there for 24 hours. This is good to do like during the full moon, because not only will it cleanse them, it will also energize them. So one issue I have with this is they're going to get dirty. I'm not really happy about that. The other thing is you have to remember where you buried them. So of course you could take something and you can mark it, but then you want to make sure whatever you're using to mark where you buried them, you want to make sure that it's real stable so that some animal doesn't come along, or a human, and knock it away. So those are the ways that we can cleanse the crystals. Now, programming the crystals. When you're programming the crystals, you want to hold an intention. So I'm going to use my jasper, my ocean jasper. Oh, I want to tell you that story too about my ocean jasper. I had went into, and this is goes back to choosing crystals. I went into the local jewelry making supply store that I buy my crystals from. And I wanted picture jasper because it's real good for artistic people and creative people. It helps to spark your creativity. And for some reason I said ocean jasper. I never even heard of her. I know nothing about ocean jasper. I try to stick with crystals that I know, because there's so much to know about them that it's just hard for me to keep everything in my head. So I said ocean jasper. The woman that was helping us at the store, she had a bracelet on with ocean jasper, and I really liked it because it was like this flat stone that's just like great for bracelets. So I really liked it. So I bought a strand of that, and then I came home and I did some research to find out what ocean jasper was for. Well, it turns out it's for stress. It's like, great, I definitely need that. So once again, that's an example how crystals will go ahead and choose you. Okay, so I brought it home. I made this bracelet. It also has amethyst on it and clear quartz on it, because that enhances the medicinal properties of the bracelet. So what I did is I knew I wanted it to help me relieve stress. So I put it in this hand, and then I covered it, and I said, I thank you, ocean jasper, amethyst, and rose quartz, for relieving me of any and all stress that I have in my life. I thank you, ocean jasper, amethyst, and quartz, that I have peace in everything I do. So let it be. and this releases the energy onto it. So pretty easy. So that's programming it. Again, you want to have your intention. If it's a little bit more than that, as far as what you want to do, you might want to write it down so you don't forget it. So you can use it as I did for stress. If you have, like for instance, I also made this nice necklace with labradorite. Labradorite's good, not just for stress, but also for the throat chakra. So say you have a sore throat, well, then you might want to go ahead and program your crystal to help relieve your sore throat. And then what I would do is take the labradorite, put it on the throat chakra, and just kind of lay and meditate with it for a while. And there's all kinds of meditation on YouTube that you can use. So you want to decide, what do you want the crystal to do? And crystals can do anything. They can aid with anything, with any body part, anything that's going on. So do that. Let me see. Energizing. To enhance the energies of the crystals, put them out in the full moon. You want to have something that's glass. It has to be glass. So I use a glass Pyrex baking dish is what I use. I put my crystals in there, and then you want to set them somewhere, again, where an animal or human being is not going to disturb them, or that, it could possibly rain and they could get rained on. We don't want that to happen either, especially like if you have something like the cyanide, for instance. You wouldn't want to go ahead and put that out there. Also, pink opal is real soft. You wouldn't want to put something like that out there either. So that's how you can go ahead and energize them, is during the full moon. So anyway, that's going to end this part of discovering the world of crystals. And right now I'm working on the Ocean Jasper, which deals with stress and other things. And I think it's a really wonderful crystal. So join me next time. Till then, have a sparkly day.